Hello, and welcome to the Universe Podcast. I'm your host, Teagan Elliott, and today I'm joined by special guest, Evan.
Hello.
Hello, Evan.
Hello.
Welcome to the Universe Podcast. No, okay. I've had a couple people where I say hello, and then I say their name, and then they end up going, like, good, you? And I'm like,
you? They just skip
I'm
a
like,
bit in the
I
conversation.
technically didn't ask how you were, but I'm glad you're good. So I will ask you, how are you?
I am good.
Are you really?
Really, yeah.
Because we have exams.
We do have exams.
And I'm in my, if you're watching us on YouTube, my PJs, I'm calling it the PJ Pond Fit. I've got my long socks on because my feet are always cold. And yeah, I think we're getting into the thick of things. I feel like I've kind of hit that delirious stage.
Yeah, it's like nothing's real anymore.
Went out for a couple day drinks and then go to the library and do work. You know what I mean? Like, you have to balance work and play.
I just go straight to the library. I missed the drinking bit, honestly. I should work
Well, okay,
well,
here's the thing is, if I am going to go do serious work, then, I obviously don't, because I am studious.
What's the difference between, serious work and non-serious work?
If it's more just, printing paper, sending emails,
you can do that
minutia work.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying drunk. I'm saying a couple casual drinks.
Casual drink.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, my mistake.
And then I can go do the printing and the emails and the minutia work at the lib. But if I serious work, if I'm writing a script or an essay, then no,
Yeah, but you hear about some writers drinking and stuff. Some writers work better when they're
some writers
drinking.
thrive on it.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when I'm drunk, I think of really great ideas. I'm like, this would make for a great film, or and then I'm like, oh, I don't know why I thought that. So I don't think I'd be one of those people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, nice. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your short film, because I'm actually curious.
Yes. So it is called Laid to Rest. It is starring Wilfred and Adam as well.
Okay.
And
who have both been previous podcasts.
Indeed. And Wilf is a new employee, and Adam is his boss, and Wilf is a bit too eager, and so Adam calls in sick one day, and then Wilfred thinks he's he's dying basically. Oh. So he breaks into his house, as you do, and he brings a priest to read him his last rites, and
okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm presenting it on Friday when I hope I get fit.
Yeah. Okay, I was already telling you a little bit about the presentation, but basically for our assessments we have so our modules, the one module is called filmmaking. So we had 50% of the grade is the short film. The other 50% is the presentation. And that, I feel like it's quite a bit of pressure.
I feel like that's sort of unfair because you spend 7 months doing the film, and you've only got about. Well, I haven't actually thought about my presentation until this week. So
for me, I tend to be an overthinker if I rehearse the presentation too much.
Yeah.
So for me, I thought about my points about a week ago, and then I got up this morning, showered, put on an outfit that I feel confident and cute in, and then wrote down a bunch of notes and things that I would want to take into it. Rehearsed it once, mentally thought about the timings in my head and what I want to cut and stuff, and that was it. And then I went in, did it. It felt really good. I hadn't over rehearsed it, so it didn't sound fake. I was just trying to be very conscious of the word whisper, saying so So I don't think I did that too frequently.
Yeah.
But again, I say that.
I don't really notice it until somebody points it out.
I'm
doing it right now.
I notice it when I look at the podcast recording stuff when I'm editing, and I hear myself go it's bad.
How is it editing these podcasts?
It is time consuming, but it depends on who the guest is. So if I have because obviously I send the recordings out to people before it gets posted, so then they can listen to it, and then that gets their approval, essentially. And then when I go back and listen to it, I'll hear myself either say a lot, which I'm trying to work on. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't think I'll be able to listen to this back because I hate the sound of my own voice. I don't know what it is.
I used to listen to every episode I did multiple times. Yeah. And now I've stopped because I think I then overthink it a bit.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be overthinking like everything I say.
But what I am gonna start doing again is the videos for the Instagram Reels. It's just those are really time consuming to make, and I need to see if there's actually a shorter way to make them because they always do quite well when I post them. Yeah, I just need to make I make them in Premiere, and then if anyone has any tips, please DM on the Instagram. I actually would like some advice because I do it on Premiere where I zoom into to make sure that it's going to be portrait mode because obviously I record it in landscape. Yeah. So I zoom into the portrait mode and then I have to alter and then I make the cuts as to who's speaking at the part I want. Yeah. And then I go in and I have to alternate who's doing what, like, because you have to go to the different part of the frame.
Yeah, I've seen Adam's one, sort of like.
And then you have to then go in and do the words and the text for each block. Yeah. And every time the words change, that's a different cut you had to make and go and type it in. Yeah. It's a labor of love, but like I'm always proud of them when they're done. But it'll take me like a few hours to do a chunk of them.
I was gonna say because I've never edited like vertical video before. Like,
Neither had I. I had to learn how to do it. Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that difficult. Yeah.
I mean, I bet you there's an easier way to do it. Yeah. I don't think I'm not some editor.
You need like an editing team.
I don't have like an editing prowess. Like that's not my strong suit. I can use Premiere to get what I needed to do, and then that's what I can do.
Well, you should last season, you know. Have you got any advice for?
Okay, well, so I was talking a little bit about my lovely presentation skills. I think because I can talk a lot, I feel comfortable in front of like presenting to people and things like that. So that wasn't a struggle for me, but so the way it works is there are two assessors. You don't know who they're going to be. They're just people from the department that are there to assess. You watch your film, they take notes on your presentation, they ask you a couple questions, and then you leave. Yeah. Your presentation's 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes flies by. It really goes fast. Be prepared for that. Okay. And so I went in and I had one of the assessors happen to be someone that used to be my advisor. But I had asked to switch to a different advisor earlier this year. And I had also made it clear, though, when I was asking for the switch, that there was no bad beef with this person. There was nothing personal. No. It was just the lack of rapport I had with Susan that I would prefer a different advisor. And I switched. But I hadn't really spoken to her about the switch or about anything, but I didn't think she'd care. I figured if anything, she'd probably be like, oh, it's one less person that I have to do meetings for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could probably be for the best.
She'd probably be happy.
It just felt a bit awkward when I walked in. But I was like, well, you have to be unbiased in my grading.
Objective. Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll see what my grade is. I felt really good leaving it though, and it was sunny and it was warm, and I was like, yay!
It's like a movie, you know.
Yeah.
Did she ask you any questions? Like.
Okay. Yes. So she asked about because I talked about the sound in my film. She asked if there was anything I'd like do differently within some of my sound work. With a scene that I talked about in my presentation having been like hard to do. And I did talk about, because mine's a very dialogue heavy film, I talked about the fact that doing a student film, obviously choosing to make it dialogue heavy is a big risk. And I talked about why I took that risk and why I thought it was worth the risk. Yeah. But then obviously it's a risk. There were some things I didn't want to happen that happened. Yeah. And so I talked about those things. And then she asked if like how I'd go about that differently and how I'd make it better and things like that. And I answered. The other assessor asked about my fake blood, and he was like, oh, like who did the makeup for that? He was all excited. I was like, yes. I was like, I did.
I kind of want to know now because like Wilfred was saying he couldn't like get the blood out of his bathtub. Like,
okay,
what happened with that?
Okay, so so I said to the assessor, I said half my budget went to food for my crew and the other half went to the prop knife and the fake blood. It was nice fake blood from Amazon.
I see, premium.
It came in a kit. There were 3 different types. One was like a gel, so it was like a thicker, gorier blood. So that I put in like the center of her cut. Okay. And then the other 2, one was like it was a little bit less viscous, so it was still thin, but then it had like a dropper point at the top that then I put as like droplets rolling down her neck and then like by her mouth. And then the other one was a lot thinner, and that one I put it had like a little spray, so I put it like in a spray bottle.
Okay.
And I spritzed it on the wall as like a slash with like blood splatter.
Very nice.
And it looked good. It was spooky. But
Teagan Elliott, makeup extraordinaire.
I know. It looked really nice. And then so he was asking that. But the thing is, Wilfred, so obviously it was his house, it was his bathtub. Because I really wanted, like, you know how in Psycho, the shower curtain? I wanted a shower curtain reveal is what I wanted. So he had a shower curtain, he had a bathtub. I said, can I please use it?
Was he the only person you knew with a shower curtain and a bathtub?
In a bathtub, yes.
Really?
Yeah. Do you have one?
We used to have a bathtub, but not anymore.
I don't, yeah. I've got showers. I don't know.
They're, like, really hard to find, I feel, in student houses.
So when he said he had one, I was like, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and it's, like, really close to my house as well, so we were able to just schlep all the kit down the street for, like, a 2-minute walk. It was it was easy. Yeah. And I was really happy that it was easy. Yeah. So then what happened was the fake blood got into, like, the little ring thing around the
the overflow thing
the overflow socket thing and it got in there, so then it just kept like I washed it all off, but it just kept flowing out, like it got in there. I can it took apparently a few days to stop bleeding.
I can just imagine like somebody like going for a bath and like turning on the tap and just like blood like pouring out of the thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I had to get some bleach. I said can I come around to your house then with some bleach? And he was like, please do.
Did you put that in the budget?
And so I just had my own bleach. Okay, there were a couple things that didn't make it in the budget. I had to pay for myself.
Oh really? Like what?
Like the taxi for the kit.
Yeah. That's like the main thing you can claim on though, right?
Well, for me, food was like a lot of the budget, because the thing is, I had an all-day shoot from like 10 a.m. until 1 a.m.
Okay.
So that I provided lunch and dinner, and I also had snacks. So like that. So I made pesto pasta, and then I made chili con carne. And I also had a side of like veg, and I had crisps, and I had like I wanted them to be well fed, so they wouldn't be like depressed on my set. And then
going back into Teagan's food.
And so I had to make I made the beef and everything. It was work, and I pre-made it, so all I had to do was heat it up and put it out. And it was easy. Yeah. But yeah, so that was a labor of love. And then the prop knife and the fake blood were expensive as well. I think the prop knife was $17 and the fake blood was $20 or something like that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, what's the most hardcore shoot you went on during like the whole filmmaking period? Like, what was the I don't know. I don't want to say worst shoot, but like the most difficult. Sort of.
Yeah. In some ways, mine was the most demanding. Yeah. Because it was an all-day experience, but that was just because of the actress availability. Otherwise, I've been able to split it up over the day. Yeah, yeah. But I needed my actress. That was non-negotiable, obviously. Yeah. So whatever she was available for, we had to make work. Yeah. So I felt bad for everyone because it was really tiring. Yeah. And then I'd say, I mean, you know Kieran.
Oh yeah, Kieran, yeah.
His was, I was meant to be sound, but ended up becoming cinematographer. Yeah. Which
like he only had like.
It was
Callum and you and his crew, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It was mostly myself and him. Okay. And then Cal was acting. Yeah. And then he had a couple people that I was like begging. I asked our friend Aisha. I said, "Can you please come? Like, we need people to come do some sound work." But yes, I ended up becoming camera, and so I got a lot of good camera experience with that. I was really happy with that.
Yeah. Did you do camera and sound? Or?
At some point, yes, it was really funny.
Just check the shot and then.
I would run over, I'd hit record, then I'd go over, do sound, get it ready, and I'd say act. Yeah. It was really funny.
I mean, to be fair, like I thought Kieran might have like just gone on camera because like I was on Jacob's film.
I think he was initially meant to do camera, but then I think he found himself focusing a lot on the directing, and then the camera became more of an obstacle than it was like a natural. This is what I like. So I would make the shot, and then he'd check the monitor and tell me like if that's what he wanted or not.
But the elephant in the room, the dead bird guy. Tell me about him. Like
so
I've heard
Callum and I talked a bit about it.
I've heard Callum talk about it, but like, what was it from your point of view?
Oh, from my point, I mean, we were tired because we'd also been up late doing his shoot the night before. We got up, we went to this town that was like a drive away. I think Kieran's mom drove me. Yeah.
Oh sure, yeah, he had his mum and his.
Yeah, and I also had a bad I was also ill. I think everyone was ill.
Yeah, everyone was ill on that.
We were all drained, exhausted. It was cold. I was ill. I was coughing a lot. Sorry. So I
coughing right
yeah,
now.
I know. I thought that was more of just like a
talking about it. Yeah.
I was coughing quite a bit, and that was not fun for me. But so she gave me like some allergy tablets, and I was just like, oh, thank you.
That's lovely.
Because I was scared I was going to keep coughing during the shoot.
Yeah. Well, you're on sound, so it's not really like.
Well, if I'm, yeah, that was not gonna be fun. But I didn't know. So the dead bird man,
that's a tongue twister. Yeah.
He just found his. He was like, oh, I found a lovely dead bird skeleton outside. Did you guys see it on your way over? We were like, no.
The fact that he calls it lovely.
Well,
that tells you something.
And then he brought out his little collection, and he was really excited to show us. And it was like the dead frog. It looked like a freeze-dried frog that was just like this. And I was like, oh, interesting.
It's like interesting. It's like something you see in a horror film.
I just kept looking at Cal, and it was comedic relief is what it was. Yeah. I think if Cal hadn't been there, I would have been very much on my own.
Very scared.
Because I think Kieran was very much like, I mean, he was directing, he was focused on his film, he wanted it to be successful, and so he was like putting up with a lot of this, and we're like, this is just not. Yeah. We gotta go.
Yeah.
we gotta go. So then, somebody came to my house, and then he followed because he was in it still, and I was like, oh, welcome to my home. Please don't come back.
Please.
Yeah. But tell me a little bit, how is it balancing now exams with the band? Is the band still doing music together?
The band is, well, not split up, but we're sort of taking a break for...
Oh my god, yeah.
We're sort of like taking a break for exams, but...
Okay.
We will be at the summer ball.
Why would you even say split up? Like, you really...
I know, like, I shouldn't have even said that.
the band is split up.
Split up, yeah.
Only for exams.
Only for exams.
So you're just pausing.
Yeah. I feel like a politician now. I've said I've made like a serious gaffe. No, we're not splitting up. Just to make that clear.
The strand is still together.
The strand is still together.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, we've got some songs, some new songs. I might add, and we'll be recording them soon, hopefully.
Okay.
And, yeah, lots of live shows to come up.
Any fun titles like Scarface?
I don't know if I can ever like top Scarface. Really.
I just picture, like, it gets stuck in my head sometimes, and I just picture
Scarface.
Because there was this video. It's the video that you and Cal both use in your shows, and the video images of like the music video you guys shot, and it's just I picture you going Scarface. Yeah.
Oh god, I don't know. Like, part of me sort of like cringes whenever I play Scarface, because like it's always like it's absolutely just, I don't know. It's really intense, like sort of balls
I will
to
link
the
the song in the description of this episode.
Thank you.
So y'all can go take a listen.
Little shameless plug from me. But I don't know. It's very loud. You know what I mean? It's.
And are you guys performing at Summer Ball? You were starting to say?
Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, last year was like really good.
I didn't go last year. I didn't really plan on going this year either.
Can't believe that. I don't know why I'm even talking about.
But I have some people trying to convince me to go, but I'm like, it's expensive money.
But, you know, the Strand was there. You know.
Yeah.
I would have made the 40 quid ticket completely worth it.
I don't think I've ever. Woo! I don't think I've actually ever seen you guys perform.
Really? I don't believe that.
Actually, no. Wait. Last year, Fulford Arms.
Oh man!
When I went to go record the VT.
Oh right, so you didn't even go to see us. You just went to record a VT.
Yes.
Right.
But no, do you want to know how much I paid for entry? £8.
£8. Yeah.
£8, and I was flabbergasted, jaw on the floor. I was like, "You are kidding me! This is a bar." I was in there for 20 minutes, and I paid £8 for entry.
Divide that up. That's like what?
I was like, I'd rather go to the club and play for like £4. That's half the price for me to go to the club for endless tunes for hours and hours.
That's like £2 for like 5 minutes. It's like what?
You know, and I also didn't even realize how short your set was. I thought it was going to be like at least an hour.
Like apparently, well, this is according to Cal, but like apparently the owners of Fulford Arms weren't happy with us because like we had like 30 minutes to do our set. But our set was only like 20 minutes long, and we had like one original. We had Scarface, and that was it. I think they were like expecting, I don't know, like all originals.
Yeah.
And like we came in there, we did a 20-minute set, 10 minutes less than it's supposed to be, and pretty much all of them were covers.
Have they hired you back?
They have hired us back. Actually.
Oh, okay,
so
fair enough.
They must be running out of bands, but you know, yeah, I don't think they were very happy with us.
Oh.
So yeah, sorry if anyone's trying to book us to play right now.
Yeah, well, right now things are just... I just feel like it's been nonstop chaos. And I feel like, okay, this is like a me thing. Every spring, something happens to me. Every spring.
What's happened to you this spring?
Well, this spring, I mean, okay, I already talked about it in the last episode, the whole, like, the police stuff and everything.
I see.
Or something will happen, like, romantically for me for every spring. It's just very, very strange. And I think it's the vibes I put out, because I think, like, in the spring is when, like, I care the least. And I'm just so focused on school that, like, everything else is not as important to me. But then that's when everything then comes my way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I think it's just my energies.
Yeah. I mean, what changes in your energy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what I need to figure out. I think it's maybe because I'm a little more nonchalant, or maybe I'm just more chill. But I feel like I'm normally pretty chill.
Yeah, I like, to me,
to an extent, I'm always like,
chill. Yeah.
I'm like chill but bubbly.
Yeah.
And loud.
Yeah. Well.
If that's a possible combo.
Well, not too loud.
That's the first British person to ever say that to me.
Really?
I'm touched. Wow.
Well, you're welcome. Yeah.
Thanks. No, I mean, and then I had someone the other night. He, like, tried to make a comment at me, like, for a comment toward me for being a Yank, but then tried to tell me that one of my other friends had actually said it, and I was just like, I mean, because I honestly wasn't that pressed. I was like, I don't really care at the end of the day. Like, I had a lot of slander thrown at me the past weekend, and I'm just like, at the end of the day, I was like, I just felt like these are coming from some insecure people.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a fight. I'm not gonna...
What's the experience of sort of coming from America to the UK? How would you describe it to other people? Big question, I know.
It's a big question.
I feel like I'm interviewing you now.
Yeah.
Like,
this is interesting.
I've taken over the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, well, I normally don't get asked questions as much.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say, for me, I kind of split it into categories, like the food, American food's better. The humor, I think British humor's better. Yeah. In my opinion, though, because it's drier. It's not a slapstick. And I think the American humor tends to be more...
Yeah.
Like...
Sort of like, I don't know.
Both of them can have raunchy humor, but I just think that the English is just more dry.
Yeah, you're sort of laughing.
And that to me is funnier.
You're laughing like at them instead of with them.
Yeah, and like you're laughing at yourself.
Yeah.
I think more.
Yeah.
And I think the American humor, and not saying that they're all the American, like
yeah,
there's gonna be funny Americans, but I think it's just as a general population, this is what I found.
Yeah, sort of like in terms of like.
I'm always scared I'm gonna anger people, but like this is my podcast. Boom. Like I'm just gonna say my thoughts. There you go. Yeah, this is what I found to be true.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the uni experience is so different. So like when I went to California and I went to Deltopia, which is like this, I talked about it on one of the previous episodes, but it's basically just this massive party in California, in Santa Barbara. Yeah. It's thousands of people in the streets along this cliffside, along the ocean, and everyone's drinking, and it's crazy. Yeah. And there's keg stands, and it's very like frat energy, and it's just like, it's so different from anything I could ever have here
in the UK.
Yeah. And
I mean, do you prefer one? Or?
Well, I mean, obviously everything has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one place or like one party to do over and over again, if I had to pick either like going to the bars and then the club or doing that, I think I'd pick the bars and the club. Yeah. Versus that, because I think that get a little tiring after all. But that's also not a fair assessment either, because Deltopia, it's one weekend of the whole year is this big party. So not every weekend is like that. But
like you must get tired at some point in the weekend. Like I mean, this is just me. I wouldn't want to like do it all day. I just want an evening.
I will say it's been really sunny, and in California, obviously, it's sunny all the time.
Yeah.
But you don't feel like... I feel like people there can be in the library studying, and they don't feel like the urge that they must go outside because it's sunny. Yeah. Versus us, now that it's sunny, no one wants to be in the library right now. It's so hard.
I spent like half my birthday actually in like just doing coursework in the library. And I know my friends told me off for work.
Did you do anything else for your birthday?
I did. I went with my best friend to have some dinner.
Nice.
Went to like a Korean place. It's very nice.
Oh, which one?
Little Asia.
Yeah, I've been. It's nice.
So nice. Yeah. It was a succulent...
succulent Chinese meal!
Succulent Korean meal, yeah. No, that video lives, like, rent-free in my head.
Lives rent-free in my housemate Joe's, too.
Well, really?
I had never seen it until I came here, and then Joe was like, a succulent Chinese meal? If y'all don't know what we're talking about, how would you explain it?
Let me introduce you to Democracy Manifest. So, it's it's basically this Australian guy getting arrested, and like he like the police try to get him in the car, and he's like he says to some reporters who are like opposite the car, "Gentlemen, this is democracy manifest." He says it better than me, but just like the amount, just how outraged he is, and just the amount of funny stuff he says in a very small space of time. I feel like if I ever got arrested, like God forbid, like I don't think I'd be able to say anything like that.
When you put it like that, yeah, he does say a lot of outrageous
things,
fun things.
I see you know your judo well.
Yes. No. So again, I never see this, but Joe quotes it. Like, he used to quote it a lot more last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I live with a man who loves to quote funny videos and vines and things, and I feel like you and Cal do the same thing. Yeah. I think you all would get along really well.
Yeah. I feel like me and Cal literally just like communicate in like references.
Yes.
A lot of Democracy Manifest, but a lot of Gordon Ramsay as well.
Really? I thought you were going to say the In-Betweeners.
Yeah, the In-Betweeners too, but like...
We need to also talk about the In-Betweeners.
Yes.
So, I've seen... I don't know if I've seen the whole thing. Because there weren't many seasons, right? There were only like 2.
No, it's only like 3 seasons. Yeah. To be fair, there's 2 movies, but...
Yeah. Well, it did not make it to America.
No. I swear there's like a US version
that's what I heard about.
Really terrible.
I had never heard of the US one either.
Yeah.
But I had never heard of the British In-Betweeners. And when people watch it, they're like, this is what British culture in school is. Like, this is what it is. Yeah. And I'm like, I hear stories about your guys' schools, like recently as well. There's someone was telling me recently about, I think it's like the backpack challenge or something. And I was like, oh, like, is this where you bring anything but a backpack to school? And they're like, no, it's where a line of kids just chuck their backpacks and hurl them at one kid on his way in the school building. This is a British thing. People were in agreement.
I've never heard
The person who told me the story was from Birmingham, because the school was in the news for it. Yeah. And then my friend Will from Ipswich also said that happened at his school. And I was like, I thought this was going to be like the cute little anything but
high school thing. Yeah.
Anything but a backpack challenge. No, it was like, no, you put bricks in your backpack so it hurts harder when it hits them. I was like,
Jesus Christ.
You guys' schools are built different.
Yeah, like I feel like when you go to like secondary school in the UK, I feel like it's a very big sort of jump from primary school, which is like elementary school.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, you get a lot of dickheads in secondary school doing things like the fucking backpack challenge. But yeah, I hadn't heard of that. That's horrible.
I think it's titled the backpack challenge, but I'm not entirely sure. But it was like, I
feel like you could interpret it like many different ways.
I thought it was gonna be cute, and
I
then
know.
He was like, no, Teagan, it's not cute. And I was like, oh.
Like challenge is very sort of ambiguous. Like,
yeah,
you could think it's like really cute.
Well, I think British schools are just a different breed. And you also wear uniforms.
I know, yeah.
I think that's so cute. And also, as a general thing, I think because you guys have to wear uniforms, this is something I've noticed, England versus America, is that English people tend to dress better.
Yeah.
Whether it's like on like nights out. If you had to compare like if I were to compare like frat bros to rugby lads, that's like the closest comparison I can make.
Yeah.
Is that the rugby lads will dress a lot better than the frat bros do.
I mean, how do they dress better?
It's not like shorts, tee, and a backwards baseball cap, or like it's a nicer shirt with like long pants and then like a chain, like a necklace or something that's like not like a super thick gold chain. I don't know, like, and then also like they wear deodorant or aftershave, like they like try, and that to me, I see that more here than I do in the West Coast of America. It's such a big country that I'm always like in my head, even though technically like I was born on the East Coast and I have family on the East Coast, I didn't like have the university experience on the East Coast, so I can't. I can't relate to that.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. I was gonna say like America's like, it must be so diverse in terms of like.
It is, and so
university culture.
It's also easy. I mean, when people meet me, they're like, "Oh, like normally I hate Americans, but you're like a nice American, or you're like a not as annoying American."
Don't worry, you're a nice American.
And I'm like, there's such a variety that I'm like, you can't, you know what I mean? At the end, like you can't make your assessment off of like one that you've met.
Yeah. It's sort of it's generalizing, and I think people do it for a lot of other countries as well.
Yeah.
They just assume something because they're from America.
Well, there are Americans that hate Brits.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't hate me, do you?
Actually, I have to tell you.
Yeah, getting kicked off the podcast.
Yeah, well, because like, I think it boils down to a lot of the Americans saying, "Oh, like we left your country, we fought you, we're on our own. You can keep your tea.
That's like 250 years ago.
You're not going to tax our tea.
No taxation without
we have our guns, we have our rights." Kind of energy.
Second Amendment, yeah.
And it's all fine and good. It's just like there were people in the comment section. Eric and I are still going to read this when we do a video together. It was where she talked about the phonetic sounds of k. And like, or the phonetic sounds of the alphabet, and it was curly k versus kicking k. Oh, right. Did you ever see that video?
Yeah, I mean, I learned
we
about
went viral. I don't know how you didn't see that.
I haven't seen that, no.
1.3 million views.
1.3 million views.
Yes. Damn. And yeah, I can't believe you know what I'm talking about. Anyway. But so people in the comment section were so pressed on both sides. You had Americans saying like, stupid British person trying to like force their beliefs onto like us Americans, like you can keep your weird phonetic shit to yourself. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, slow down there, friendly fire. Then you had the American perspective saying, and then you had the British perspective saying like, how do Americans not know this is such a basic concept? Like, no wonder you guys are stupid. Like, you guys should have been taught this when you were like 4. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, calm down, calm down.
That's the thing. I think a lot of like British people are very kind of snotty towards Americans. Like they'll assume they're.
I know stupid people in both countries.
Yeah, exactly.
They exist everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll find it wherever you go.
But I think the British stereotype is like the Southern, highfalutin. I have tea with the Queen. Yeah. I actually go to Hogwarts.
I actually did as well.
Yeah. Well, it was disappointing. My friend Will's coming to visit, and he's from Ipswich, so it's easier for him to put on like a posh Southern accent. Yeah. And so he really wants to like trick some people in America that are going to be really gullible.
Yes, well, I went to Hogwarts. It was a very good education.
Father didn't let me take the Ferrari. I was fuming. It was ridiculous.
It's like Draco Malfoy.
Raw.
Wait till my father hears about this.
I think I'm not good at the northern accent. I'm working really hard. Wait, are you from the north or the south?
I'm from the Midlands. I'm not from the north or the south.
You're neither.
I'm not like other.
Friendly fire.
Friendly fire. I'm not like other guests. You know?
You're from the Midlands. So where in the Midlands are you from?
I'm from basically think about the island of Great Britain.
I think we say Birmingham.
Birmingham. No, I'm fairly near Birmingham, but like think about like dead centre of the island of Great Britain.
Like
as far away from the sea as you can get. Yeah, near Nottingham. I'm from Leicester. Americans always pronounce it Leicester.
I think I know someone from Leicester. Is Fran from Leicester?
Yep, Fran's from Leicester, I think.
Or if it's not her, then it's a different friend I have. But because I've heard of that exact town. Like I've heard of this. Yes.
But yeah.
Leicester.
So like people don't really know where to pinpoint my accent because like it's sort of like it's a mix of north and south.
Yeah.
And my mum's Irish as well.
So you could probably do a really good fake accent for both.
From both, yeah, exactly. You know, I've got the gift. You know,
like I was just born talented.
Yeah.
Well, for me, my northern's not great. I'm working on it.
Well, let's hear it.
No, okay.
No, come on.
People on nights out always ask me.
You've hyped it up now.
No, but so what I tell, I'm like after a couple drinks, I will do the accent. Yeah. But my southern is decent. I just think of like really posh, arrogant assholes that I've met.
Well, let's see your southern then.
I mean, I did a little bit earlier. Now you're putting me on the spot. It's gonna be really bad now.
Yeah, but like I want to hear it anyway.
Okay, give me something to say.
Okay. Hello, my name is Edwin Ramsbottom III, and I drink tea, and I'm from Surrey. I don't know.
Okay. No, I can't. No, because now like I feel like my words are just gonna
let the people hear. Let the people hear.
I'm gonna start stuttering.
Give the people what they want.
Oh no. Okay, if the people want this, okay, the podcast needs to. Okay, how about I'll post this on the Instagram Reels. Yeah. And if I get over how many views, then I'll do it.
Like 10,000 views.
10,000 views. Okay.
That's doable.
And then I will do a fake.
A fake southern accent.
My best fake southern accent. If it gets how many views for the northern?
Like I was gonna say, like hypothetically, 50,000 views. Would you do a northern?
Okay. Yes.
There you go. See, I've the power of negotiation. You know.
Oh no. Okay. Well, with that, we're gonna go. Evan, it's been lovely having you.
It's been lovely being
You've
here.
been a lovely guest. I
Thank
love
you.
that you actually asked me questions as well. This has been refreshing.
Yeah, I feel like I've been the host for.
You're like,
doing your job for
I'm
you.
doing all the work. Yeah. Well, yeah, you'll definitely be invited back. This has been lovely. I also got a splitter, so I really want to get another person on here. If I could do an episode with you and Cal.
Me and Cal. Oh my god.
I feel like I would just be third wheeling the whole time.
Yeah. It'll just be me and Cal taking over the podcast.
It will. Okay, but thank you guys so much for listening. You can find us anywhere podcasts can be found, that being Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, all the places. You can also find us on YouTube if you're watching the video there. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Universe Podcast, and you can also follow The Strand at the link in the description.
The Strand.band on Instagram.
The Strand.band on Instagram. Great. Yeah. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.